Hi everyone, I'm Dixian
And I'm Everett.
and
And
welcome
welcome
to
to
Indie
Indie
Sketchpad. Indie Sketchpad is a show where we talk about a few of our favorite things. Whether it's art or anime, reviews or interviews, you can find it here. So please subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our new releases.
We'd also like to mention that we're currently working on our very own animated short film. It's called Celflux Reluctant Heroes, The Secret Weapon. You can find out more about it at celflux.com, or you can have a look at the animated trailer by checking the link in the description. If you'd like to support the project or us here at Indie Sketchpad, you can do so by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/GEMGFX. The link is also in the description. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about character design and inspiration. Now, I'd like to make a distinction here, if I could, between character design and character inspiration. Character design is a process involving the merging of different elements to communicate information about a character visually. Character inspiration is basically what inspired the creation of the character in the first place. The character that we are going to be looking at today is Okira. Okira is the main character and focus of the story of Celflux. We like to refer to her as a kind-hearted, benevolent priestess, and she hails from the realm of Okira on the planet of New Genesea. She is the leader of the Celflux team and the central figure of the entire story. Her first appearance was in Celflux issue number 1. And since we introduced her to the world, folks are slowly but surely starting to get to know her name, and hopefully one day she will take her place in the canon of pop culture. Okira has been with me for a very long time. One of the earliest sketches I did of her was back in 2002, though the idea of her has been with me for even longer than that. When Dixian and I decided to work on Celflux in 2013, we brought our minds together and refined who the character would be.
My mother always taught us to avoid confrontations. She would always say, for the sake of peace, meaning, let's not fight. But if you threatened her children or loved ones, she became a very different person. She would hurt you really, really bad. We imagine Okira to be just like her. She's very calm and reserved. But if her family or loved ones are threatened, she becomes a force to be reckoned with.
My mother was the one who bought me my first sketch pad because I was getting into trouble scribbling in my school books. And she was the one that set me in the right direction by giving me an outlet to exercise what she then saw as my creativity. And that's the type of person my mother was. She didn't have all the answers or the means, but she did what she could. So it's that benevolent nature that is the basis of Okira's personality. She loves her family and her people and will do everything in her power to keep them safe, even if she doesn't have all the answers and even if she's not sure about the level of danger that she faces. I use 3 main words to describe Okira's look and feel in terms of design, and those words are tribe, spirit, and beauty. For Okira's people, I took inspiration from the Maasai tribe of Kenya. The Maasai are an ethnic group living on the border between Kenya and Tanzania. They are one of the most popular tribes of people in the world, and their distinctive customs and dress is easily recognized. They were even featured in one of my favorite movies, The Ghost and the Darkness, starring Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer. Their primary color is red. To them, it's a sacred color that signifies blood and is worn by all of the peoples, from the warriors to the women. The color also represents good fortune and prosperity. So we decided to model Okira and her people after the Maasai. The colors, the culture, their love and respect for nature, a close-knit tribe in a village-type atmosphere. And that's also why Okira wears red. One of the religions that has always fascinated me is the Spiritual Baptist community. The Spiritual Baptist or Shouter Baptist faith is a syncretic Afro-American religion that combines elements of traditional African religion with Christianity. They are usually identified by their energetic music, singing, and their wearing of modest clothing of mostly solid colors. They also have a great respect and understanding of spiritual things, visions, signs, and the fulfillment of prophecy. In Celflux issue number 2, one of the first things we see from Okira is that she has a vision. She's suspended in a place she calls the seventh realm, the place of the spirits. She has an ominous vision of a creature that lets her know something evil is coming. When she awakens and tells her mother of this vision, she's not greeted with disbelief, but her mother sees it as a sign that Okira's journey or rite of passage must begin. The idea and concept for that scene was influenced by the spiritual Baptist. Another place that I drew inspiration from for Okira's spiritual aspect is ancient Egypt. When you see Okira, one of the first things that stands out to you is the medallion that she wears on her hip. That, of course, is the symbol of the Ankh. The Ankh is a widely used ancient Egyptian symbol which represents life itself, eternal life, health, prosperity, and fertility. Okira, even before she had her abilities, was a healer. She has a great respect for life and what she calls the life force. Her first instinct is to heal rather than to destroy. So I wanted a symbol that would identify that aspect of her ability and character. The Ankh seemed to be the natural choice. In addition to the Ankh, I also took some influence from the Egyptian goddess Isis. Isis was worshipped as the ideal mother and wife, as well as the patroness of nature and magic. She was the friend of slaves, sinners, artisans, and the downtrodden. She is often depicted as a falcon-headed deity. Something I liked about her depiction is also her long fitted gown. So I gave that to Okira. Also, Isis wears these upper arm cuffs that I thought were really regal. So I gave those cuffs to Okira as well. So hopefully we created an iconic character that folks will easily recognize and come to love. When Dixian and I were putting Okira together, it was important for us not to go the route of what the anime fans refer to as fan service. Even though it's very popular to do so, we didn't want a sexualized character. Now don't get me wrong, to each his own. It has nothing to do with political correctness, but a desire to have people drawn to Okira because of her spirit and personality. So we wanted a character that possessed visible beauty, but with modesty. One woman that, to me, embodies natural beauty, apart from Dixian, of course, is the singer Sade. Sade has some very beautiful features. She has these large almond-shaped eyes, full natural lips that most plastic surgeons wish they could create. I tried to capture some of those features in creating Okira. Sade also had a really cool style of dress. In her video for Cherish the Day, she wore a really cool two-piece dress that showed off her abdomen. And that was my inspiration for the refinement of Okira's outfit. I combined Sade's two-piece idea with the Isis fitted gown, and thus we have Okira's iconic costume. Sade also had a habit of wearing large round earrings, and I thought those were pretty cool, so I gave them to Okira also. Demetria Bridges is a talented voice actor based in Boston, and we are thankful to have her coming on board and being part of the project.
Hi, my name is Demetria Bridges, and I get to be the voice of Okira. I started my journey into voiceover a little over 5 to 10 years ago. I was still teaching in the public school system, but wanted to delve more into the exploration of my voice. I grew up in a singing family, so I was well aware of the beauty of the resonance of my voice and the melodies and the tones of my voice, and I really wanted to just really maximize that opportunity to learn more about it and to make it work for me. So in 2011, I jumped ship and I started my own company. And I found great success voicing a lot of corporate campaigns, training videos, audiobooks, telephone systems, some commercials and radio campaigns, and it was great. But when I was asked and referred by my voiceover community here in Boston to audition for the voice of Okira, I jumped at it. I am an 80s baby. And so I grew up with Justice League and Wonder Woman and Batman, and I grew up with Space Ghost. I grew up with Wonder Twin Power and Thundar the Barbarian and Godzilla. I mean, I could go on and on. But I jumped at it. To be a superhero, oh my gosh. And when Eviard and Dixian just graciously just knighted me to be the voice of Okira, I was on cloud nine all day long. Just you couldn't take me down. All I could think about that whole day was, I'm the voice of Okira. I was just so excited, and I love it. And when I think of Okira, I think of a wonderful, wonderful soul whose mantra for me is she walks softly, but she carries a big stick. She doesn't have to yell at you. She doesn't have to scream at you. Her presence alone makes you stop and just look at her, and you're affected by who she is. She is feminine, she's passionate, she's filled with compassion, but she has a love for justice, for her family, for her team, and for the world. So I'm so honored to be the voice for her. I'm so honored that Eviard and Dixie graced me to have this opportunity to be that voice to the world in the form of Okira, and I look forward to many, many more episodes. So please, I welcome you to join me in sharing this journey with all of us. Feel free to connect with me. I'm at DemetriaBridges.com. My Twitter feed is at DemetriaSpeak. I'm on YouTube as well under my name, and I look forward to this journey. Thanks so much, guys.
We want to thank Demetria for being a part of this journey and for the awesome work she did to give Okira a voice. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed our talk about Okira, and I hope it gives you some inspiration to create some awesome characters of your own. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit subscribe. And if you would like to support us, again, you can do so at our Patreon page, link in the description. Till next time.